Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you a flip through of the month of March 2022 in my Hobonichi Cousin. So let us begin. Now the first spread that I use is this one. So more of just this one, not the right hand side. And what I do here is just one thing, track my income. So I receive income from multiple sources. In fact, to be more specific, I get it from at least 3 sources. And I do not get it from all 3 every month. So I keep a track of it so that I know when I receive it and of course the amount that I receive as such, and that's it. This is the first time that I'm doing it and I like it so far, so I am following it regularly as such. Of course, I do not need to come to this spread on a daily basis. I just need to come maybe at a maximum 3 times a month or even less as required. So I do not keep a bookmark as such for this spread because it's not really needed over here. Now I'll just show what I've done over here. So I highlight in green, okay, the days that I do not know whether you can see it, the days that I receive my income, and of course below I write the initial of the source that I receive it from. So U indicates something, A indicates something, and of course the amount that I receive. Now I go about this in order. So for example, on 18th I received 1, and that is why I've written that first. U was what I received on 18th, while A, whatever that source is what I received on 19th as such. So this is just for me to keep a track of it and be aware of that as such. Now moving on to the next spread, which is the next page, is the index. Truthfully, as you can see, this is empty in the month of March, and there is a reason for it because for the previous months I used to update it throughout the month whenever I felt like it, but this month I was in such a hectic state that I did not do it at all. And what I decided was that I would do it on the last day of the month, and it is not yet the end of the last day. Okay, so I will do it on 31st at the end. I do not know what time this video will be coming up, but I will do it before going into April as such. So what I do over here basically is highlight the important topics that are there in my daily pages. I do daily journaling, and what comes in my journaling is more of memory journaling rather than writing about my emotions or feelings for the day. So I need to come back to those daily pages at some point, and I prefer to be able to find them easily over here. That is why I'm keeping this index as such. So I will fill in this with things. Now just to be more specific, you will understand it a lot better when you see my daily pages, but basically what I do is, if there are multiple things on my daily pages, I focus on the most important thing that I feel I will need to come back to and just write that over here. So it is not that I write each and everything that I've written on the daily pages on this section. So this is for that. So I will be filling this up, and it has been working well so far, so I think I will be continuing with that later as well. So do not go by the fact that it is empty now. Do not think that it is useless for me. It is working so well for me. Okay, it is just that I was not able to complete it this month. Now let's go ahead to the next spread, which is the monthly. This is more or less the same as how I used it last year. So I have this section covered off with washi because those are the days that are not a part of this month, and that is all that I have for the decorative aspect of it. The rest of it, let's get into it. So I have these sort of corner stickers which I use to indicate birthdays or anniversaries for every month, and this has been set up for the entire 12 months. I have set this up, I think, December of last year, so it is not something that I do every month as such. It has already been pre-planned. The next thing that I have over here are more or less updated every month, okay, as they come across. So what I have over here are bills, okay. So these small circle stickers that you see in different colors, they indicate a certain type of bill, and of course the amount to be paid as such. To be more correct, it is the day that I paid the bill, okay. It is not the last day of the bill payment, it is the day that I paid the bill. And of course each color indicates a certain type of bill. I know what it indicates, but nevertheless there is a key at the back of my book for me to refer to in case I couldn't remember it. There are also a few other circle stickers, as you can see, all of which indicate different things, all of which I have a key for towards the end of the book. For some, I need to refer to the key. For some, I do not, because they occur every month and I remember them. The others are quite rare, like some that I have to try to remember, Now this one is for periods, and these two are for different church events, which I need to note down because I am part of different committees, so these are things that I should be aware of. Now coming to other things on this spread, as you can see, there are of course certain things I've written down and then highlighted. Let's go to each of them. Now these two, they are completely random things, but they are important things that took place in the month, like a work picnic, which is a once in a year thing, and it is a picnic that I went for. And the colors don't indicate anything, just to be clear, it's just a random highlight color, and here it means something. Green is something that I use when I spend money on stationery, and this is the only category that I tend to excessively spend on. That is why I indicate whenever I spend on stationery as such. In fact, this I wouldn't claim as a great month because I bought twice. The first one was the spring surprise box, which I have already put a video on. The other one is the warehouse sale, which you will probably see a video on Monday once I get the box as such. So these two were what I bought this year, what I bought this month, and I don't completely regret it because what I do for warehouse sale generally is I try not to buy as of otherwise from EC, and I add in things to my cart which I feel are absolutely important, and then I keep on removing things as I lose interest in them, and whatever remains at the point of the sale I still go through them, and if I really need them and they are at a great price at that point of time, that is when I buy it. So I have got some exciting things. Hopefully you will enjoy it when the video comes out as well. Moving ahead to the next thing that I have here is social media. I am on YouTube and Instagram, and even though I would love to have those beautiful stickers that most people tend to use, I don't do that. I just tend to draw the icons myself, and this month the icons look disastrous because I have no artistic talent. I never have it. It does not matter which month it is, but this month I was all the more tired, so it just came in random shapes, but it's fine. I can see the color and I know what it indicates, so that is okay. So these are the days that I posted on. Okay, so this is not pre-planning. I do this after I've posted it. This was a little pre-planning because this is the current video that I'm shooting, but I knew I would put it up, so I wrote this down. And what I have here below, this is the first time I'm tracking my numbers. I don't do it as of otherwise, but I think it would be a good idea to do it. So this is the current number. I don't expect it to increase on the last day, so I already wrote it down, even though I know there's still time for this month to end. And the same for Instagram as well. I am not at all truthfully active on Instagram. I tried to be, but Instagram is something that just doesn't work for me. I even think of deleting my account at most times, but then sometimes I like to see others what they have posted and get inspired from that, so it is still there. And just another thing over here, the spread is largely covered. This is what I'm using as a bookmark this month. Okay, if you have seen the EC video, you know that this is something that I received in the SSB, and earlier I used to have other bookmarks, I think the Midori bookmarks as such, but I've been loving using this. The only issue is that they leave dents on the page. I don't think it's a big issue because once I start moving it around, probably it won't be as obvious. I think I will continue using this in April and see how I feel about it and then decide accordingly. I prefer this one over the previous ones that I had because these are of different colors. So as you can see, I'm not sure whether it's clear in the video, but they are all three of different colors and they're bigger, so they stand out a lot more. I prefer that. Maybe if you're someone who likes it smaller, you would prefer the previous bookmarks that I used. But I kind of like this one. So this is the one I use for the monthly spreads. Nothing much written over here, but this is the one that I use. And as far as the next spread, that is the weeklies are concerned, this is the one that I tend to use. That is the to-do one. Okay, I really like this one because this is perfect for the weekly spreads, because this is where my main planning is, that is the to-do. list as such. But anyway, let us go back to the first week of March. Now, my weeks are also more or less similar, but let me just run through them for you. The left hand corner is entirely for habit tracking, so I have different things over here. There is hair care, skin care, vitamins, sleep tracking, and of course the water tracker right at top. If you want me to explain it further in case it is not clear how I track them, I can do that as well. But it's more or less repetitive, that is why I'm avoiding it. Then of course I have divided the spread into 3 sections. There is me time, to do, and events. The first section, that is me time, is sorry, I stopped for a moment, is when where I write about the things that I love to do. So it could be watching something or it could be reading something. So for example, MR is the initial of the book that I was reading, and of course then below it comes the number of pages that I've read that day. So there's no limit to it. It depends on how much I finished that day. The next one is a YouTube channel that I'm watching to learn a language. So I'm writing down the video that I've completed watching that day, because this includes a little bit of learnings. Sometimes it takes more effort from me to complete it. I feel better when it is all written down. I see to that I have done it. So this is not exactly a to-do for me. Moving down, to-do list, I think it's pretty clear. I have my list. Some things repeat every week, some things are new to each day. I tick when I've completed it and put a cross when I've not done it. And of course below I have events. Frankly, these all are church events. Okay, let me be open with that. I'm an introvert. I do not like attending events or going to places and such as any of that. So what you see here are church events that come up every week, so you're likely to see this. The only reason I'm writing these down is sometimes the timings change. I need to have a note of it, like I said, since I'm part of the committee. And also the places change. Every week it's at a different place, so I need to know the location as well. That is the only reason I write it down. I don't really need to write it down as if otherwise, but in the current situation it helps me out. This sticker, if you're interested, is from the ECSSB as well. If you have seen my previous video, you can check that out. I know I have not actually done this properly. I have no talent with stickers or creativity as such. I just wanted to use them and I ended up randomly placing them on these spreads. Frankly, I never used to have stickers on my weekly spreads before. I think this is the first time that I've done this. I've not done it in Jan and Feb. And it was disastrous. They are beautiful stickers. I ended up messing it up by placing it weirdly as such, but anyway. And of course you can see that I am someone who is comfortable with making mistakes on my spread. It's not about mistakes, but you can see the issues over here. You can see a lot more as I go through the next ones. Okay. Anyway, this is more or less of the same thing. Okay, so some more stickers, really pretty ones, which I managed to anyway. So yes, more stickers. This one was quite empty, and there's a reason for that. Like I said, this was an extremely hectic month for me, and I was also extremely lethargic. I did not want to do things. So it's not like these days I did not do anything. I did a lot, and this is something that I realized. Sometimes when you have too many things to do, I end up not using my planner. I do not know whether it's just me or it's everyone who does this. I've done other things these days, okay? It's not like I've not done them. I've just not used my planner. And here, this one I purposely did not write. I knew I did not have time for me time much. I read a book, but I did not watch the YouTube channel, so I did not even bother writing it because I knew I was not going to watch it. So I think in some ways I am willing to, what do you say? Modify my planning system a little bit to adapt to my current life situation. I was sure I wouldn't be able to include that into my busy days, so I just removed it completely, but more or less there were other things that I tried to do. Now this is one of the last spreads. Again, some more stickers and some more mess ups over here, but largely the same thing, and I'm kind of getting back to my to-do list, as you can see. And then we come to the last week. It is entering into April now. Of course, I have not completed this week. And as I'm here, you can see that there are a few different stickers over here. These are also from the ECSSB. I am one of those weird people who have to use up stickers as soon as they receive it. So I've already ended up placing these on even the next spreads as well into April. So you will see these stickers or similar stickers on the next spreads. I'm not really talented with them, but I want to use them and you will see them somewhere or the other. So this is a weekend sticker. I'm not sure whether it's clear. These were blank ones. I'm using these for my habit tracker and this one just to note an event, and that's about it. So more or less I'm getting back on track with regards to, using my planner more. There was that 1 week, like I said, where I was a little lazy about it, but I've come back to track about it. And this is the pen, in case I've not shown it before, that I use for my Hobonichi. I like it and I hate it. There are a number of reasons. As you can see, there are a lot of issues that come up, but at the same time I like it because I can use one pen for writing the title as well as writing normally, and I prefer not to go look around for other pens all the time. One is enough. If I have one, I can just use my entire planner without any difficulty as such. Anyway, quitting the rambling, I'll go on to the next spread, okay, which is the daily journaling. So this is the bookmark that I'm using for the daily, which is today again, which I think is perfect because daily, each spread today is perfect for that. So that is why I kind of want to use these bookmarks, even though they are leaving those marks on the pages as such. So let's begin with March. As always, there is a dashboard page for every month. What I tend to do is just decorate it and write down codes or things that I love to include that month. So that is what I've done over here. I've loved this. I'm writing a book about all the things I should be doing in life. It is an autobiography. The next one, you've probably seen this. Please note, the post-apocalyptic fiction section has been moved to current affairs. Then the last one, the longer I stay at home, the more homeless I look. Okay, so yeah, those were some fun things that I saw this month and I just wrote it down. This one was empty. March, let me warn you in advance, it is largely going to be empty. It doesn't bother me heavily, weirdly. I've seen a lot of people bothered by the fact that their spreads are going empty. I'm kind of a weird person, I guess. It doesn't bother me heavily as such. Of course, it does bother me a little bit, but not that much. I pre-decorate my spreads probably 1 month before, or at times 2 months also before. So all of these have been randomly placed, okay, at least 1 month before. So that is why you can see the stickers there, and I try to write around it because it is quite easy to write around it. I rarely end up filling the entire page, so I don't have to worry about not having space, okay, for the daily pages as such, especially since I'm trying to write small within that one grid as such. Of course, if you write big, it could be an issue for you. Otherwise, there is a lot of space on the A5 Cousin as such, and depends on how much you write. Since I know that I won't use the entire page, I am free with placing the stickers anywhere I want. So what I do is, as you can see, I write something, then I use the bigger side of this pen, okay, the medium side I believe, to write the title or caption for that paragraph that I've written. So it makes it easier for me to find out what I've written about. And that's about it. And that is how I also fill in my index later. I don't read the entire journaling that I've done. I just go through the titles that I've written, and whichever is more important or relevant, I just fill that in my index as such. So let's go ahead. So it's more or less of that on all of the spreads. The stickers were really good. I wish I had journaled a lot more this month, but that's fine. It was a little bit of a difficult month for me. As you can see, some days I journaled a lot, some days, in fact most days I did not, but it's okay, I tried. So that is that. And there were things to journal, just to be clear, there were things to journal. It was just that, like I said, after the hectic day, I was more or less lethargic and I just didn't want to do anything at the end of the day. And journaling is what I do at the end of the day, so I just did not do it. That's about it. So this would be the end of daily journaling. I have not journaled for 31st yet or done the dashboard for April, but I've already put down the stickers for the month of April. I probably will leave this empty. I have a feeling it's going to be empty. Now let's go on to the last category of spreads, that is my library. So this is my reading section. You might have seen it before. Let's see. For the month of March, as you can see over here, what I do basically is, you can see these are the covers of the books that I've chosen for this year, and below it what I do is I give stars according to whether I liked the book or not, not the ratings of the book online, whether I liked it or not. Below it I have this bar which I fill in as I complete reading, and of course the number of pages included in that book and how much I've completed. The reason I've done this is, this year I have decided that if I really don't like a book, I am going to leave it halfway. I have this weird habit of trying to force myself to read it even if I don't like the book. But so far I've read all the books because they were good enough. But I will probably leave the book halfway if I cannot read it at all. And then I've just written the category, mystery and thriller, and of course the type of book that I read, ebook or a physical book, and the month, okay, the month that I read. So you can see Jan, March, I've read a few. That is one thing that I've done. I have read a number of books in March, but these three are March. I did not read. It's not that I didn't read at all. I think I didn't complete reading. I had started a book in Feb, but I did not complete reading it. So it was largely all in March. I did not fill up the number, but I finished reading this, so I will fill up the number and write the rating for this soon. So this is not something that I've done yet, but I will do this more or less like I've done these. So far good. Not going great, I guess, but I think good enough for me. Since I've read at least 3 books in March, that makes me quite proud of myself. So I think that is yes, all for the flip through. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other suggestions of using any of these spreads better, please put it down, and I would love to go through it and have a discussion with you. See you all in the next video, guys. Bye.